Hi everyone, thanks for coming to my open house tonight. I'm just going to show you this recorded portion, and then at the end, if you have any questions, you can type those into the chat. So first of all, I just wanted to open up the presentation that I showed your children on the first day of school. This can also be found in the Google Classroom if you want to watch that pre-recorded video. So this year I am teaching biology, and I have two classes of biology for the first semester and an environmental science. Second semester I will have a bio class, environmental science class, and an AP environmental science class. So just a little bit about me. I've been teaching here for 13 years. Which is basically my entire teaching career. I love this school. I think it's a fantastic school, and we have some of the best science classes and science teachers in the county here. So I'm going to toot our horn. We offer a lot of AP programs at this school as well, and you should be very proud to be a Mustang. So welcome. I'm going to go through and show you some things on Launchpad that are very important for your freshmen to understand. So the first thing is Google Apps Share right here is super important. That's where you get to all your Google Classroom information. We also have, it's a little bit cut off, an online bio book that's right here, and I'm going to go through and click through all of those for you. And if you are an e-learner using Zoom, I believe you have the Zoom access button there as well. And the links to my Zoom sessions for all my classes are in the Google Classroom in the stream as well, so you can scroll way down and find them. All right, so let's open up some things. First, I want to show you Google Classroom, so they will open it. It'll look different for them, obviously, but you can press this little waffle up here, and then it will say Classroom, so you click on that little waffle up there and go to Classroom. So their classes should be in there. Let's go, for example, to Biology Honors Period 2. So this is what a stream will look like, and it's basically showing you as I've posted things, all in order here. And it's not very organized, but if you scroll down, you can see that. I don't love this stream window. The only good thing about it is that it does show due dates and upcoming things here, and you can click view all, and you can go through and see all the assignments. Now, are all of these assignments graded? Absolutely not. There is not enough time in the day for all of those assignments to be graded. So a lot of the assignments you'll see here, that's just material. It will just be stuff we go over in class and do together, or I give them time in class to go through tutorials. What I prefer is if you click this classwork tab up here, it is organized by topic over on the side here. So currently we're in Unit 3 cells, mitosis and meiosis. So it will show you, and there you can scroll down, and when we have a lot of information to cover, obviously you have to click this view more to show the very beginning of when we talked about cells is way down here, and then going up we learned about mitosis, and we're starting to work on meiosis now. Okay, so couple things. This is an EOC course. It is a very fast pace normally, and now that it's block, we have a even shorter period of time for them to absorb all this information, so it is very difficult. There have been a couple kids that pull out their phones too often in class, and phone calls will start happening to parents soon if your child is one of them. They need to not be distracted in class, and yes, sometimes our laptops are slow, but I luckily do have a classroom set of laptops so that we can transition into these times where we might have e-learning as more of a possibility. So just so you know, it is fast-paced, and they might feel a little stressed, but to be honest, that is a pretty common thing for freshmen, to be a little bit overwhelmed. It is a lot, especially Biology Honors as a freshman is a very difficult course, and I've been teaching it for a lot of years, and it hasn't changed all that much, except for this block schedule this year is new. All right, so you can click on here and it'll bring you to the assignments. It'll show you a little bit more. Okay, one thing I wanted to point out is this back to school paperwork tab. Okay, in here we have a weekly interactive outline. Actually, sometimes twice a week we have an outline due. because every one day of block is 2 class periods technically. So within 2 days of class, we're covering, almost a full week of a normal schedule. So a full week means 4 to 5 days worth of material in 2, so it's quite fast. So here's the copy of the interactive outline that they do for each chapter. It's just my way of having them look through the information on their own and assimilate and answer questions and include vocab. All right. There are some other things in here. Here's my classroom maintenance about me that I showed them on the first day. There's other things like the CER. So in here, it also shows you how to access Google Classroom, like I just showed you. It also shows the kids how to add your online book to Launchpad, and we already did that, so I'm going to go to the online Launchpad next. The safety contract should have been turned in, and if you want to view my syllabus, if you haven't seen it already, the syllabus is right there. And that's the back to school paperwork that you might be interested in seeing. All right, so let's go back to my Launchpad, and I want to show you the book. Now, obviously, I don't have a student account to give you a sample, but this is how you would access your book. So they will have the same thing, BPS Savas Science. All right, and this button here is what you want to click on, Savas Realize. And they should have a history textbook, I believe, also in the same app. All right, and what you're going to click on is right here. Usually there's a little bee image. I did get a notification that they are updating and trying to work with all the new traffic that they're getting. So it is quite often glitchy. I'm sure your children have already complained about it, but I think they're working on it, so that's good news. Okay, so here is your table of contents. It goes through all of the chapters we have to cover this semester. It's quite a bit. In total, the book has 27 chapters, and we will pretty much cover all of them. I kind of combine some of these. We don't do an outline strictly for human body and animal systems, so I try to shorten it at the end when we go over human body. And yeah, so this is the vast amount of information your little ones have to cover in the first semester this year. We have already covered Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and tested on that. We skipped ecology, and we do that later in the year because it's an easier subject, and we like to do that before the EOC. And we have done Chapter 8 already. We have done Chapter 11. We're working on Chapter 11 this week, and 12.4, which is just meiosis, is what we're working on today and tomorrow. And then they will be testing on Chapter 8, 11, and 12.4 on Monday. And I am sticking to our schedule that has been given to me by our district personnel. And I know it's fast-paced, but we are sticking to it so that I can make sure that your little ones have all the information they need to pass that EOC. All right, so that is the majority of the stuff that I wanted to go over. I honestly can't think of anything else that you would benefit from. Just make sure that your children and you are checking Focus regularly. Google Classroom and Focus have some features this year that are new to us, and we are trying to make them work where they speak. So if I enter a grade in Google Classroom, I can sync it with Focus, and it enters on its own. There are some glitches, so let me know if you see something in Focus and it's a 0 in Focus. That doesn't mean it's not turned in Google Classroom. What I am also finding is I think towards the end of last school year, teachers were being quite lax with due dates, and I'm starting to see that things are being turned in quite often late, and then they get lost in the mix of my emails, and I don't see when a kid turns something in late sometimes because I have already graded that assignment and moved on to others. So if a child has turned an assignment in and there's a 0, it could just be because 1, I didn't see that they turned it in because it was late, or 2, that it just didn't sync properly and it didn't get put from Google Classroom into Focus when I sunk them. So the best way to contact me about something like that would be obviously through email, and then another way would be through the Remind messaging. My Remind messaging information is on my webpage in the Focus Classroom. If you as a parent want to help keep track of your children, I do try to send homework reminders and test reminders through Remind. And I think that is it. So in the chat, please type in any questions you may have, and I will be addressing those for the last 5 minutes of our meeting today. And I hope you have a great evening and a great rest of the school year. And of course, email me and type questions in the chat if you need anything. All right. Thank you. Have a good evening.